so much for your time, making time and being here today. Thank you so much, Wilhelm, for the introduction also. I think more than anything else, as Wilhelm, tonight, I've got 10 minutes. Dave's going to be speaking after me. And to give you a short overview in 10 minutes, what's taken 20 years of experience and probably about 10 years of theory also. I finished my PhD, thank you so much, in 2010, and then I had a student call me about 2 weeks ago. I don't know if he's here tonight, but a gentleman called Harlan Kluti, and he's doing his PhD, and he said to me, this whole thing about the learning organization, is this a philosophy, or is it something that you can do, or how does this thing work? And I was just reminded again, that's how I felt in 2005. But when I finished in 2010, a wise man once said, if you read a book and you find one piece, a nugget of gold, it was worth reading that book. So in all my studies, what I did, I saw pieces thereon, of the learning organization. And as Wilhelm also said, Peter Senge actually spoke at a conference, I don't know if you were there, Wilhelm, a couple of years ago. And he also spoke at the conference, and literally after about 20 minutes, people they just left. And because it was just theory, and not actually coming to a conclusion or making it practical. So today, I just want to say, the learning organization, it's not a theory or a philosophy, it's actually something that's practical. And just quickly, the book itself, it's also written in a South African context. Firstly, the word learning organization is very much a Western concept, coming from the US, but more specifically in the Netherlands also. And because it's a Western concept, in the South African context, people find it very difficult to interpret or to make that thing relevant in our context more than anything else. So without going into too much detail, the book, firstly, it gives a good definition of what the learning organization is. And firstly, everything's in the book, so I just want to give you that definition. Especially in South Africa today, organizations learn for the sake of learning. So then they think, well, we're a learning organization. So the learning organization is not so much that, it's actually learning to improve business processes and to improve your product. Fundamentally, that's a good definition. In the book also, what I then try and do is to identify 4 wrong perspectives. In life they say if you think wrong, you act wrong. So the idea is I've identified 1, 2, 3, 4 wrong perspectives that we have regarding learning organization. And firstly, just very quickly, the first one is not understanding the benefits of being a learning organization. And as Dave will speak to today or after I've finished, a lot of the things that he addresses there can be addressed within the context of a learning organization. But you need to understand fundamentally what that actually means. Secondly, second wrong perspective, is seeing learning as an event. Most people go to learning, to institutions or to learn to motivate people or to hype them up or to get them going. And in this case, learning actually, it focuses more specifically on the process of learning. And learning being obviously something that takes time over a period of time also. Third, right perspective is capturing and sharing what has been learned. Most of you also are aware that Professor Tim Noakes is busy with his new diet and all of that. But I also spoke to Tim along about that, and he also said, how important it is not only for businesses, but for sports teams and all of those things, when you capture that knowledge, that you can actually share it also. So there are a lot of related concepts also, knowledge management, all of those things, but the book gives a definite place for the organization also. Excuse me. The last one is to make learning meaningful. And there's nothing worse than learning something that you don't enjoy. Just think back to school where you maybe got a subject and it's, oh my goodness, it's the last thing that you actually want to do. But then there's within each one of these perspectives, there are different strategies, one or two, just making it simple, simplifying the concept then, and giving specific strategies how to improve on that right perspective. Tonight also, I've got 1 or 2 of my case studies. Wilhelm mentioned in the book there are some case studies also. And the learning organization, I didn't find in a big organization, or not in one specific organization. Rather, I saw parts of the learning organizations in many different companies where I've worked over 20 years. And I've purposefully asked Adrian also to be here tonight because he runs the biggest dairy in South Africa. But you know what I always say, if a factory in Darling can be a learning organization, potentially any organization has got the capacity to become a learning organization. Tonight also, Dave, I'm almost done. I think it's very, very appropriate also that Dave is going to be speaking mostly to senior people that are here tonight. And you know, within the learning organization, it's critical that you firstly fundamentally understand what it is about more than anything else.